What is going on, guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we have a very special video. We're going to be finally modifying the performance of my 2023 Alfa Romeo Giulia using this bad boy. Without further ado, guys, let's get right into today's video. This is the Madness Autoworks GoPedal Plus for the Giulia. If you guys are new to my channel, I own a 2023 Alfa Romeo Giulia 2.0. It has a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that makes just around 280 horsepower, and it has all-wheel drive. And honestly, it's one of the best cars I've ever owned. It's fast, it's fun, but it just needs a little extra kick to really make it that much more special. And that's what we're going to do today with this thing, the GoPedal. This is from Madness Autoworks. If you guys are not familiar with Madness Autoworks, they're a company that specializes in all sorts of aftermarket modifications. Whether it's cosmetic or performance, they have what your car needs to make it just that much more special. They specialize in Alfa Romeos, but they have a lot of different brands that they make parts for, ranging from Aston Martin to Maserati to BMW to even Subarus. Anything that you want from a lot of different countries and any sorts of parts that you can think of, wheels, performance parts, carbon fiber, everything that you want, their company has. This is the GoPedal. So what this is going to do is it's going to help improve the throttle response with the Giulia. So in modern day cars, a lot of cars are driven by what they call a drive-by-wire system, which means when you put your foot on the gas pedal, it's an electronic signal that is sent to the ECU telling the car how much power and how much throttle that it needs to be giving you at that specific time. Now, given the fact that it's kind of a computer-based system, it does take a second, and when you add that turbocharger in, that means that you're not always getting instant throttle and instant response from your vehicle. What this aims to do is to curb that. It's going to help you eliminate that kind of turbo lag and that delay when you're waiting for the transmission to shift down and get you in the right gear. And this is going to help you rocket off from a standstill and while you're driving and you're just kind of rolling along a lot faster. Now, a lot of people ask, if I just step on the throttle all the way, I just punch the gas pedal, isn't that going to accomplish the same thing? Well, no. And Madness has actually proved this on their website, because it's just you can't be fast enough for the the computers and the ECUs to react. So this is actually going to help speed up that whole process and can actually shave off a few tenths of a second to your 0 to 60 run as well. So without further ado, let's get right into kind of unpackaging this thing and talking more about what this thing is going to do, and I'll show you guys just how to install it on the Giulia as well. All right, so this is the GoPedal Plus. Now, if you guys are not familiar with Madness Autoworks, they have another version of this specific model as well, which is just the base GoPedal. Now, Madness has been nice enough to sponsor today's video and help me out, so they sent me out this GoPedal Plus for a discounted rate so I can review it for you guys and tell you honestly what I think. So we're gonna test it, we're gonna be honest, but guys, they are great. Please go check them out. They did help me get a discounted rate, and you guys can actually get this same thing for your Giulia and other vehicles as well, because they make this for all sorts of models at a discounted rate. Madness has been nice enough for the first time ever with a sponsorship to give me a discount code. So if you guys go into the description below in this video, you can actually check this out and get a discounted price on this specific model or the base GoPedal for your Giulia, for your Stelvio, or for any other make of car that they make this thing for, which, trust me, they make this for a lot of different vehicles. You guys can get a 10% off code in the description down below. So if you go through me, I get a cut of it too, which is great, which means I can get more parts for the channel and show them to you guys like this, but you guys also get a discounted rate too. So guys, please go take advantage of that. Madness has been so nice to give this to you guys, so please go take advantage of that and go check them out. But without further ado, this is the module that actually changes the throttle response on your car. This here is going to be your controller. So this is what's going to help you toggle through kind of the different modes and the different throttle responses that you can go through. All right, and taking a look underneath, obviously Madness has been kind enough to sort us with an installation guide here as well, with some different features and various things that we can learn about this. And then of course underneath all of this, we have the cables and the mounting straps as well to help us install this thing. Alrighty guys, so this is my 2023 Alfa Romeo Giulia. I'm gonna show you how to install the GoPedal. Now, Madness on their website actually has beautiful instructions, and they always have customer service available during their business hours. So if you need any help, please feel free to call them and they will guide you through any kind of troubleshooting problems or anything that you need. They've been so helpful with me, and I'm sure they'll be the same way with you. But guys, honestly, this seems pretty simple. The first thing you're gonna wanna do, Madness recommends that you come up to the car, you unlock it, you open the door as wide as you possibly can, and then you're gonna wanna lock the car, and you wanna take the key fob away from the vehicle for at least 10 minutes to let all of the systems kind of power down, and that way you don't get any kind of codes or any sort of trouble errors while you're installing this. So, all right, and as we can see here are the 5 easy steps with a link as well to the installation manual. You're gonna wanna disconnect the accelerator pedal. So if you come into the car here, I'm gonna show you guys. So you see that red kind of tab behind the accelerator pedal? That is your throttle response controller. First thing we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna disconnect this kind of red plug cable from the back of the accelerator pedal. Now, guys, I do wanna mention, I hope this angle is better, but if I do block anything or it's hard to understand what I'm doing as I go in the install process, I will say Madness has a bunch of videos on their website that streamline the whole thing, and I'm probably gonna be a lot better than my tutorial on how to install this thing. But first thing you're gonna wanna do is disconnect this cable here. You just kind of pull this tab out and it should pop right off. All right, so now that that is disconnected, you're gonna take this end here of the wire, and this is gonna basically plug right back in on top of the accelerator, and then this end here is gonna plug into the one that you took off of the car as kind of a stop. And then you're gonna have this other side, which is gonna plug right into that power module I was showing you earlier. So we're gonna take this burgundy one and we're gonna plug that right on top of the original accelerator, and we're gonna lock that in, and then we'll go from there. Alrighty guys, sorry I had to cut, but as you can see here, now we have the new harness plugged in, and then that stopper kind of plugs into the old harness. Make sure that you just click both locks into place. You'll hear a nice snap when they do. And then down here is where we are going to plug in the actual module. All right, so here is our module and our plug here, and this thing is directional. So you just go ahead, as you can see there, makes a nice click sound. All right guys, so that is it fully installed. The cable ties and the glue pads that they gave, the glue pads I found didn't really stick. Now, this might just be me. I am doing this in like 20-degree weather, so these might not work because it is so freaking cold outside. But the cable ties I found, so once you plug everything back in and you plug the module, you can kind of route it. There's a few different ways. I kind of routed it up and back here, and I might get some kind of tape or some glue to kind of bring these cords away from the pedal more. But as you can see, I mean, if I push the pedal, both pedals, they're not in the way. And then I kind of routed it along to here. Now this is a little janky as of right now, but I will end up fixing that. Just for the sake of this video though, we'll keep it like that, and then we can move on to the next step now that everything is installed and squared away. All right guys, so the next step is to get in. Now get the keys back. Make sure obviously when you shut off the car that it's in park and all that good stuff. But you're gonna get in and you're gonna wanna turn the ignition on without starting the engine. So make sure your foot is off the brake. Hit this once. Right? Let everything wake up a little bit. And then you're gonna wanna fully depress the accelerator pedal and hold it for 2 seconds. So I'm gonna put my foot on the accelerator, all the way down, 1, 2, and let go. All right, my apologies guys, we had a little glitch with the phone there, but basically where we were is I'm gonna press and hold the gas pedal for 2 seconds. And then once you do that, the installation should be complete. All right guys, so I've just gone ahead and started the Giulia, and everything seems fine. There's no lights or anything on the dash. This is the controller for the GoPedal. So what you do is you click and hold this button and it turns it on. And how you know you've done it correctly is this LED will light up blue, and it should be in the sport mode setting when you first turn it on, and that's how you know that everything has connected properly. Now this thing doesn't stay on very long, but it has a bunch of different modes that you can cycle through. So if we click it on again, now this is probably the best thing about this GoPedal is all of the different features it has. So Madness provides you with a few different kind of modes, and this GoPedal Plus actually has a few extra bits and features that the original GoPedal doesn't. So as you can see here, this is the remote and it has a bunch of LEDs. So if you hold it and it'll show it's on. So right now it is in the off position, which means that it's going to be kind of your closest thing you can get to stock. But here we have 4 different other modes and a few other bonus features that we get as well. So there's a traffic mode, and this is basically going to give you, when you're obviously driving in traffic, it's not going to be so lurchy or anything. It's going to give you just that nice, smooth kind of driving response, and you can see the diagram here. But the nice thing that comes with this GoPedal Plus is that, let's say I want to go to the traffic mode. If I click on it, I can go through a bunch of different flavors. So I can turn it up. This will be traffic mode and its most aggressive setting here, or I can turn it all the way down or even off, and that'll be kind of the lowest, most relaxed throttle setting I can get as well. Right, then next we have the eco mode, which makes sense. You know, it's not going to be the sportiest, but it's still pretty good for gas mileage. And then obviously we go to sport and race is going to be kind of that super jumpy if you really need the most out of this car that you can get. But sport, I feel like, is where people are going to be living. And the nice thing, again, there's 5 levels of fine-tuning. You can do each one of these, so it's totally customizable to you and your driving flavor. And then with it also comes 2 extra kind of bonus modes. So you can see protect and valet. Now, protect mode is going to turn off your throttle altogether. So let's say you're in a kind of sketchy part of town, or you're parking it somewhere where you don't want somebody to have access to the throttle if they can break in. This is going to do that. You hit this button and you hold it for 3 seconds. It'll activate protect mode, which is going to just disconnect your throttle altogether. So while still being plugged in, you won't be able to, rev the engine or go anywhere. But there's also an LA mode as well. So you press and hold that button down for 3 seconds, and what this is going to do is supremely limit the throttle response. So let's say you're obviously taking it to a valet, or you have somebody driving it that you don't want beating up the car or really revving this thing out. You can give this to them in valet mode, and basically they're going to have to drive it like a granny to make sure that your car stays protected. Madness also thought ahead, and with this GoPedal Plus, there is Bluetooth capabilities with an app in your phone. But guys, I can't wait any longer. I'm too excited. I got to find out just how this Madness GoPedal Plus affects the driving capabilities and dynamics of the Giulia. Alrighty guys, so here we are. I've got you guys on the POV cam, and we're going to do a little POV test drive in all of the different modes, and I'm going to kind of go through what each mode does and how it feels and whether this thing actually makes a difference on the car. What you're going to do is, again, you click it, turns on, and so we're going to start in the off mode. I don't know if you guys can see that. Again, you can control this via the phone, but just for the sake of this video, I'm going to do it with this little remote controller. Now, the one caveat with this, and what Madness recommends that you guys do, is you don't want to be changing these modes while you're driving. And the reason for that is you don't want to be giving 2 different signals to your accelerator pedals. If you start in traffic mode and you jump up to race mode, you're going to be having a very relaxed throttle response going to a super aggressive throttle response like that. And if you're doing that while your foot's on the pedal, you're going to be sending 2 different signals to the gas pedal, and that might confuse the computers a little bit, and you might end up breaking something. So that's why Madness recommends that if you want to change your modes, come to a stop, pull over, at least be slowing down and on the gas pedal and almost at a stop when you're changing these things. You definitely do not want to have your foot on the gas while you're changing these modes. But let's go ahead, turn it on, and let's start in the off mode. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna throw this in here. And we got the Giulia in normal mode. So the nice thing about this as well is it maintains all of the characteristics of the driving modes as well. So you still have to kind of turn up the modes to get the most out of this car, which I like. I like that it maintains kind of all the factory engine and transmission and response and all that kind of stuff. It just ups the throttle response. So we're gonna start in normal mode, in off mode. This should feel exactly how my Giulia felt before this tune. So let's go. We're in this kind of parking lot. Let's go for a little bit of a drive. The 2 things I really want to test with this GoPedal is, one, the eco side of things. So how good this thing is in terms of if you want to dial back the throttle response and kind of just cruise, how good that feels. And then the performance. If I really want to dial this thing up and get more performance out of the Giulia, how does that feel as well? So we're going to be testing, both of those things here today. So we're just starting in the off mode, and I can tell you right now, this feels exactly like stock, like exactly. I don't know what Madness did in terms of keeping the stock tune or whatever, but this feels exactly how my Giulia felt stock. So I can't really complain. I don't think I should waste any more time in this mode. So what we're gonna go and do
is we're gonna switch it into traffic mode. Now, again, guys, there is 5 different settings for traffic mode. So off obviously being pretty much turned down all the way, and then you can go all the way to race mode over here on the right, and that's going to be traffic mode turned up all the way. Now again, traffic mode is going to be kind of, if you're cruising around, you don't want to be too jumpy or racy, then this is kind of what you're going to be. So let's go traffic mode, let's go traffic mode sport, and then we'll see how that does. So let's pull out of here, and again, we're still in the normal mode for the drivetrain and everything. And instantly, guys, I feel that this is even more lethargic and kind of laid back in terms of responsiveness than off mode was, like how the normal stock Giulia is. Wow, I'm actually surprised how much of a difference this is making. It definitely feels, I mean, normal mode is normally still kind of pretty punchy. This feels very subdued and laid back. Yeah, this is perfect if you're cruising in traffic and you just want to kind of chill out. This is exactly that. It takes way more with the throttle pedal to get this thing going in traffic mode. And I'm assuming if we go into eco mode here, that is going to be very similar. We're in eco mode. Let's go eco mode sport for the sake of consistency. But I have to say, guys, just from clicking that from off mode to traffic mode, I definitely notice something is changing. And that's why, you know, Madness, when I was talking to the guys at Madness, they said, you know, I was like, hey, I'd love to partner with you guys. You know, what mod should I do? And this is what they recommended. They said, you know, this is a great first performance mod for your Giulia if you haven't really modded it before, because it's a difference you can feel. And it's the great thing about it is it's, you know, you're not stressing the engine, you're not tuning anything, you're not voiding any warranty. You can switch this back to factory in no time. And okay, wow. So eco mode actually is even more lethargic. I am like very much into the pedal right now, and still we're not sending the car. It definitely feels, you know, eco, laid back. This will definitely help you get better gas mileage. If you're a heavy-footed driver and you know, you can't, it's hard to control yourself, you put this thing in eco mode, and I mean, I got it in eco sport. If you dial it all the way back, I am sure that you will have no problem driving this thing super smoothly. That was, you know, almost 3/4 throttle, and it does not want to give me too much. So this is definitely a very laid back and relaxed mode. It definitely accomplishes what it wants. I'm truly impressed. It feels way more comfy and sophisticated, like, and laid back than it does normally, you know, the stock Giulia does. So let's actually pull into here, and then we will turn it up. All right, so that was eco. Let's put it into sport mode, and let's go sport. Now, I think this is where everybody's gonna be kind of living with this car. If you get this, this is probably what you want, is something a little more aggressive. Whoa. Okay, and instantly, it feels like a totally different car. It feels like the car's just woken up. Guys, I'm genuinely impressed so far. Hold on. Okay. All right. This thing is legit. That was maybe a 1/4 throttle, and you saw, guys, I mean, from eco mode to sport mode, what a difference this makes. If I put my foot down right now, I mean, totally wakes up the car. And the crazy thing is, you know, we have way more to go. There's still, you know, sport mode, race mode, and then there's a whole race mode with a bunch of different variants you can go into. And guys, this is still in Alfa's normal mode. If we throw this into dynamic mode, that is also going to wake up, you know, the rest of the car now. So now we're going to have the rest of the car matching the oh my gosh. Oh, the car just feels so much more responsive. I mean, the slightest input makes the car feel way more alive. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of a test here in full out race mode. I'm Super curious to see what this is gonna be like. So as you can see, we're in race mode all the way up. It's super jumpy and super racy. So I'm excited to see just how much faster this thing can get. All right, here we go. Whoa. Holy shit. Okay. I'm a little bit of a loss for words, guys. That was... Whoa. So this, in the full race mode, I mean, that is just the littlest bit of throttle. Oh my God, this is gonna get me in trouble. I'm curious to see if in manual mode, so if we flick it over, now we can have manual control of the gears here. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me let me collect my thoughts and actually tell you. I mean, the jump off the line, guys, is what you're going to be noticing. That's really what this this thing is going to do for you. It's going to eliminate that kind of split second that this car takes to think and kind of get going, and it's just going to, like, especially oh my gosh, the smallest tip in the throttle really in this race mode makes the car just that much more alive and aggressive. Holy cow. Yeah, this is not the kind of mode you're going to want to be driving in, but if you want that little extra, you're racing somebody on a roll or from a dig, I mean, holy cow, does this thing wake up the car and make a huge difference. I'm genuinely so impressed. But if we go back into you know, maybe just normal sport mode here, because wow, this is a lot. Let's go, let's dial it to sport mode. We'll go sport race mode and try that. Still, man, the car is jumpy. And again, guys, if this isn't really your thing, if you don't want it so, like, you know, jumpy and racy, you can dial it back. You know, you can go to sport on the other end and you get that very OEM plus feel. And you get that dual personality. And then the best thing about it is, if you wanted to go stock, or somebody, you know, needs to borrow your car and they're not familiar with this, or they're not going to like it, you just put it in the off mode and you have a stock Giulia again. Or if you need to take it to a dealer or something and, you know, they're skeptical of this and you don't want them to, you know, see anything or void any warranties, it takes 5-10 minutes max to install this thing, and it's fantastic. It's fantastic. You can convert this back to stock at any time, and it's really great. I'm genuinely impressed with how big of a difference it makes. Honestly, it feels like a very different car when you turn it into race mode all the way. It's just that much more jumpy and aggressive. But in this mode, you know, sport mode, in traffic mode, and then you know, just in the normal drive mode for Alfa, it feels great. It just feels like stock, just with a little bit more responsiveness, and that's exactly what I was looking for out of the car. So, you know, this is kind of where I'll be hanging out. But if you want to, you've got the full race mode as well. And so honestly, let's do, while we got it, let's go back into dynamic mode. Let's go race mode, but let's not go race. We'll go race mode sport. Well, you know what, for the sake of this video, let's do race mode race again. And we'll do another 0 to 60 pull here and see how it feels. Here we go. Yeah, I mean, that feels slightly quicker, definitely. You know, I definitely feel like a 1/10, 2/10, if you really brake boost this thing and launch it, will be shaved off of your 0 to 60 easy. So I honestly think, guys, this is a great mod. And you know what? You can still cruise in this race mode. Yeah, it's gonna hold on to the gears and be kind of jumpy, but you can still have a good time. You can still cruise in it. And, you know, if I put it back into normal mode, the car is gonna settle down. And again, even it still retains that same drive modes that Alfa has. So honestly, now that I have it in normal mode, with even race mode all the way up, it's still backed down a little bit. So it's still a little more controllable and a little easier to drive. And honestly, guys, I'm super impressed. So I think that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I would 100% recommend that you guys buy this as a first mod for your Giulia. I really think that it does make a huge difference. If you don't believe me, try it out for yourself. Madness has been kind enough to give you guys that 10% off coupon. So, see, and that's that race mode response. But yeah, guys, Madness has been nice enough to give you a 10% coupon code. If you go through my link in the description, you can get this for one of your cars, either the Madness GoPedal Plus or their base GoPedal. So please check it out. It's not just for the Giulia. They have it for tons of other vehicles, makes and models. So go check it out. Tell them I sent you. And I want to give a huge shout out to all the guys at Madness, you know, Rachel, Sergi, Boris, all the guys I worked with that helped make this video possible. Thank you guys so much. They honestly have been so great, and I can't wait to work with them in the future. So guys, thank you for watching this video. If you haven't already, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel so we can do more awesome mods to the Giulia just like this one. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Woo! Peace out.